Welcome to the first session of Strangest Things. I'm Mercury, and this is...
Nook.
Nook Book. You know she likes to cook. Anyway, we thought we'd do the first session just talking about our own personal experiences. Just before we interviewed other people and sought out other sources for riveting tales of the unknown. So let's kick off by hearing Nook's personal ghost encounter story.
Ooh.
Now, I think you've told me this before, but as usual...
You've forgotten.
Yeah.
Well, it happened in St Kilda, in a very old house that was put into, like, all the rooms were built into, like, separate bed sit kind of rooms.
Like Airbnb?
Yeah, it was like they rented out these rooms, so you had a lock on your door and you basically had a single bed, a kitchenette, and...
Oh, like a share house.
Yeah,
kind
so
of
and then
deal.
like a table and chairs. And like a little kitchenette where you could cook a bit of food. It was kind of cute. And it was right on the beach on the marina. And I was about 18 when I moved in there. And I used to have a few nights out with my friends and I was alone these
This is
nights.
a PG podcast.
It is a PG. I was
Well,
alone.
kind of not,
Totally
but
alone.
maybe M.
I was totally alone. I was feeling sad one night. I had a chair next to my single bed and I woke up feeling like someone was watching me.
Okay, hold up. Why did you have a chair there? Was it like a nightstand? Like a makeshift one? Or
It was just a comfy chair. I don't know why it was by the bed. I just never moved it. That
like
was
a
part of
feature
the-
chair.
Yeah, it was
Not like a
feature
bedside
chair.
table that
No,
you were...
there was no bedside table.
Okay. I
Maybe
thought you were
that's
using a chair as a
maybe that
bedside
was
table.
the point of it, yeah. Didn't have a mobile phone back then, so, you know.
Fucking
I was-
landline. 50 cents in the phone jar to use
Yeah,
the
we
telephone.
did. 20 cents, I think it was.
Did you have internet?
Uh,
Like dial-up?
Yeah, but not. I didn't have it there.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
it wasn't huge, the internet back then. So
Yeah.
no, we weren't really connected, you know. But yeah. So I had a chair and I was feeling quite sad. And when I was little, my nan was still alive at the time, so I know it wasn't her. She used to rub my forehead really gently to soothe me and make me feel better and help me to sleep at night. So I woke up to someone staring at me and I looked next to the bed and there's a figure of a woman holding a baby
Holy shit.
and freaked out quite a lot. But she had her hands rubbing my forehead, but it wasn't the feeling of someone rubbing your forehead. It was sort of, but it wasn't the same as a hand actually touching you.
Was it like breezy? Or
Yeah, it
was
was
it a
kind of
mental
like
thing? Like
yeah.
you
I don't know how to describe it, but it was weird, but it was comforting and scary at the same time.
I could imagine, like...
So the first time it happened, I was like, I fucking freaked out, and I put the light on, and was like, what the fuck, you know, and freaked out, and then like just sat up in bed, like just with the light on for the rest of the night, because I was like, I don't, what the hell's going on here? And then a few nights later, she came back and did the same thing.
Still with the baby?
Still with the baby, yeah.
Yeah, right.
But then I felt more at ease every time she came back, and I was like, I just let it go.
Conditioning at its
I
finest.
was like, yeah, she's alright. She's just trying to make me feel good. And she actually did help me sleep, strangely enough. But then this one night, I think I'd had a few too many drinks, and I was sad, and I remember crying in bed. I don't know why I was crying. I was really upset back when I was 18.
A lot of
Because I didn't have a
teenage
girlfriend.
angst
Yeah,
and
probably
feelings.
And I just remember turning the light off and then hearing like this weird laughter, and I look up and there's like a clown ghost
Oh, what the fuck?
trying to make me laugh, and he was over by the table, and I was like, I don't like clowns when fucking I'm awake. Like, I did not want you anywhere
Oh
fucking
my
near me.
God.
And I just screamed at him to get the fuck out. And he kind of looked a bit like I'd hurt his feelings.
Was
But-
it a real person? You
Yeah.
were just like really drunk. You're like,
Then he
get
just
out
opened the door
here,
and left.
clown.
Yeah, then he opened the door and left. Yeah, but he kind of looked hurt, and he was trying to genuinely make me laugh, but he wasn't making me laugh. He was making me freak the
Why
fuck
were you
out.
such an asshole to him?
And I was pretty nice to him, and I just said to him, "Do not ever come back again. You are not welcome here." And he didn't. He never came back after that.
Yeah, that's so weird.
But the lady came back a few more times and then I never saw her again.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, but other people had experienced similar things in that house as well.
The same lady or the clown? Or
they'd experienced the lady, not the clown.
Yeah,
So,
right.
Mm.
Could you see the lady's, like, had the details of her face really clear? Or was it...
Yeah, she was kind of, she looked, I know it's going to sound fucking stupid, but she looked angelic.
Nothing stupid on this podcast.
Yeah. But she had like a shawl over her, like it was like a shawl over her head.
Weird.
And yeah, it was like a flowing thing all the way down and it kind of covered her and the baby, if that makes sense.
Huh. Was she like that
but it was like she was
the
like
Virgin Mary holding baby Jesus?
It was similar to that kind of outfit, yeah.
Whoa, religion's real.
Yeah, right. Praise the Lord.
I jest.
I jested. Praise the Lord.
Nah, believe what you want.
Yeah, but yeah, it was kind of cool. But since then I haven't really had anything.
I just find it so interesting that over time you just got used to it. Did it still shock you a little bit every time
I saw it?
You're like,
I wondered who she was. Like, I really wanted to know who she was, and I wanted to know, like, the origins of the house because it was really old, and you know, there was a few, you know, they died. Certain people died here or whatever, but I never saw a connection between whoever she was and whoever died there. So I'll never know who she was.
Do you still remember the address? Like, can we go?
It was
and
Marine
do a bit of
Parade,
research?
but that house has since, I can't remember the number, but it was Marine Parade.
Yeah.
I can show you. I know what house it was. I don't know the number, but I know where it was because it got pulled down and there's now apartments there.
Yeah.
Because it's right opposite the marina.
Oh my God.
I used to walk across the road and take dates to the boats there.
You're such a romantic.
Yeah, I used to steal a boat, paddle out to the boats.
Okay, that's theft.
No, not steal it, but, you know, jump on a boat like a yacht, pretend it was mine.
That's still theft. Or maybe a bit of light catfishing.
Yeah, a little bit of light catfishing.
I don't know. But IRL because the internet didn't exist.
No, I got catfish back then.
Oh, really? How? Did they call you up on the phone?
On Matchmaker.
What's Matchmaker?
It was matchmaker.com.
Was it an internet site?
Yeah, it was an internet site.
Oh, so you had to go to the library to be catfished.
Yeah. Like, no, there was like, no, I had a computer at some point and they, we're totally drifting off this story, but anyway, they sent a photo of this really hot chick. And
As
said
they do.
That was her.
Yeah.
And we were meant to meet at the Peel nightclub.
Yeah.
Back in the design. And I rocked up with this printed out photo of her. And I'm looking around, I'm like, she stood me
printed
up.
out photo, that's
me
so
up.
good.
I know, right? And she stood me up.
Oh.
So I thought. I was at the bar and this chick comes up to me and goes, "Oh my God, you look exactly like your photo." And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, "And you are?" And she's like, "I'm," whatever her name was. I'm like, no, you're not. Nothing like her. She's like, "Yeah, I used a fake photo."
Oh, no kidding.
Like, no fucking shit. And I was like,
but
yep.
She wanted you to fall in love with her soul.
Well, she was a butch and, you know, into femmes.
Was her photo a femme?
Yeah.
Like femme? Okay, yeah.
And
you just like...
So I bought her a beer and said,
yeah.
"Here you go, thanks for that, wasting my time."
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Yeah, so see, that's where the catfish all started.
So this podcast will probably like evolve into just a catfishing podcast because Nook's a catfishing
expert.
What would you say, expert? Yeah. She actively catches catfish on the internet and reports them. So it's a bit of a modern day hero, I guess.
Hero.
More of an entertainer, I'd say, because
yeah.
We get to
catch me live on Facebook.
Yeah, we get to see her
talking to
cats,
catfish on
which
the phone.
I don't know if it's an invasion of their privacy if they're not real.
Is it really?
Where are they?
That Nigerian man was talking to me on the phone. He knew damn well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, well, I guess I should we should keep on track, and I should tell you about my yowie.
I want to hear
Well,
yours.
you've heard this so many times because I crap on about it everywhere. I'm pretty sure every Facebook group I'm in
Probably
is
like it.
so sick of hearing about
I'm not sick of it.
this one time.
This one time at band camp.
So I used to go camping by myself a little bit.
Yeah.
And that sounds really, really brave, but it's not because I was in a van. So in my mind, I was sleeping in a tank at night. And completely safe. But during the daylight hours, I used to go wandering around, do a bit of a hike. Mainly I was just there to perv on nature and take photos. Yeah, and just want to get them, looking their best.
Yeah.
That bird in that tree.
Correct.
So I've got like 1 million bird photos on my hard drive, which is so exciting for anyone who wants to see them. But yeah, so this one time, and I was in this place, I swear nobody goes there but me, but it's not, I think it's like the not so popular campground up in Brisbane Ranges,
Yep.
you know, the national park?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Which we're going to go to soon.
yes, exactly to where
Yep.
I found these footprints.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
I'm hiking on this track, and then I sort of go down, I call it a gully, I guess.
Yep.
Is that what? Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say ravine, but I'm like, that's very harsh and
Yeah.
jagged and a cliff.
I don't think it's a ravine.
I think, nah. It's just a
Steep
slight
hill.
slope. Let's not get dramatic. Like, calm down.
I fell down a cliff.
I fell down a cliff face and laid there for 3 days.
Mangled and bruised until the yowie found me.
Turned it into an I
Carried
survived
me home.
story. We became best friends. Oh god. Okay, it's not that exciting. Forget everything you just heard. So, yeah, I'm just walking along, minding my own business, looking up in the trees, spying on birds, trying to snap photos, and I come across this sort of muddy patch. So, trying to avoid the mud, I'm sort of stepping around, but I'm really concentrating on the ground, which I don't usually do, which I probably should because snakes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I'm walking through this mud patch and I notice a footprint, and I'm like, nah, because I'm like on all the Yowie pages, so what are the chances? Like, you're at that point in time where you're like, am I just seeing what I
Seeing
want to
something,
see?
yeah.
But then at the
You
same
wished it.
time, I'd sort of had a flashback to me walking down that gully,
Yeah.
and it was really unnervingly silent.
Yeah.
Like, there were birds everywhere else having like a mad old time. Like, back at the campground, they were just squawking up a storm and like, rah, rah. And then as soon as I like entered this gully, it was like dead silent,
Which makes it even more
which
spooky.
freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, no, don't be stupid. Like, come on. But it just rained that night, and
Yeah.
before that it was quite dry.
Yeah.
So they were definitely like fresh. As in the night before.
Mhm.
So that freaked me out even more.
Yeah.
So I sort of took a few photos. I was too scared
I've
at the
seen
time.
photos too.
Yeah. I'll put them on our Insta
Yeah.
and Facebook after
Yeah.
this. But
People need to see the footprints.
but the photos don't really do it justice, I think, because they look way more defined in real life. Like, you
Yeah.
could clearly see that it was
Photos
toes.
are never as good as
Yeah, not.
Yeah.
I guess because it's 2D, you don't see depth
yeah.
like
Yeah,
a human
we
would
had a 3D camera.
in our eyes.
The new iPhone 12.
Has that got a 3D camera?
I don't know. It's got a few
Oh,
cameras
you're
on it.
hoping a lot.
I'm hoping.
You're setting yourself up to be disappointed,
Yeah,
I feel.
probably.
But yeah, so I found these footprints there, and I think it was just more scary because I was alone. If I had someone there, I'd probably be like, oh, look at this. Check this out, Nook. We would have laughed
And we
about
both would have
it
been
and
like, "Oh, shit."
made a ruckus, and then any Yowie in the vicinity would have
Yeah.
just pissed off.
Yeah.
Or been
Or
like,
come
oh,
and-
hey,
or come and party
let's
with us.
all have a drink up at camp.
I'm
But,
going with it. I'm thinking they would have partied with us.
Yeah, I'd like to think they're friendly. But it's funny because after I took those photos and I posted them on the Yowie groups.
Yep.
So this is where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
I was like, has anyone else had experiences in this area? I thought it's really cold. So if I was Yowie, I'd be like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm not hanging out in the cold. I'd migrate somewhere.
Yeah.
So many people, and I take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Like, you can't prove any of this, but you also can't disprove it. So, Anyway, they're all like, in winter, any yowies living in mountains come down to find food.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that kind of makes sense, even though I don't think you can actually prove this. If you can prove this, write in. We'd love to interview.
Why do they come down?
Yeah, and we'd like to know how you can prove that this is a thing.
Why can't they get food up above?
Well, I'm thinking because it's so cold.
But the other animals would go up above too, surely.
Well, I thought hot air rises. I don't know. I don't know enough.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I don't want to like. But yeah, they're like, oh, they moved down.
Questions that we need answered.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're a Yowie expert, and you want to school us, because we need schooling.
Yeah, we have no idea. We're just big fans.
Yeah. Shit, son. So yeah, write in if you're a Yowie expert and want to tell us about migrational habits, I guess. Yeah. Is that what you call that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yowie
Eating
party
habits.
times? Eating habits.
What do they like to eat?
Well, it's funny because this one guy was telling me that he found roos massacred in an unusual way. And they're like dogs or cats and that go for the throat?
They go for the throat.
Do they?
Yep.
Is that a thing? Dogs included? Because I know cats
Yep.
do, but...
Yep.
Yeah, so they're saying that, whereas this animal had been like almost like its heart had been ripped out.
Yeah, right.
Or something weird. I can't remember the full story, but... Yeah, vampires in the bush. Bush vampires.
In the bush.
I'm never going in the bush again now, thanks. My solo camping days are finished.
Well, we need to... We're going to go to Beechworth Insane Asylum too. So if anybody else has done that tour...
Yeah, write in. Let us know. Like,
because we're going to do that soon.
Yes, or if you know any stories of haunted places. Actually, so... My dad ages ago, and I messaged him about this today because I'm like, did I remember that right? Or is that a false memory that I made up? He lived in this one house where he said lots of weird shit happened. Like, he'd hear footsteps down the hall, and I can't remember what else. But anyway, he told me that. But then later, one of his cousin's friends moved in there. She was like, oh yeah, my friend used to live in that house, and they said so much weird shit happened at night, like the footsteps and I remember my dad saying weird floating balloons or clocks, or I'm gonna have to get back to you on this. Yeah, it was pretty scary.
Yeah, it sounds
I was kind of like, oh god, I'd hate to live there.
We should spend the night. If anybody knows of a haunted place where we can camp or spend the night.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Well,
and we can do a podcast live
from the haunted place.
Yeah,
right. We can do that.
Yeah.
We can totally do that.
Thinking about shit on the spot. Putting us up for stupid.
You're a mastermind.
Stupid. That's a stupid idea.
Yeah, that's a really dumb idea. You know how scared I'm going to be? So I reckon that's enough for our first episode.
Yep.
Just like a little intro one.
Yep.
Yeah, like we said, write in because we want to hear your stories, because Nooks is terrifying and we're going to research that, I think.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to know more.
Yeah, I'd like to know who she was.
The fact that it was so clear to you who it was is kind of amazing, because most people just sort of see like apparitions
distinct.
that have no features.
She was very distinct.
Yeah, that's terrifying. Could you see any features of the baby, or were they covered by that sort of veil
I could
thing?
not see the baby's face at all. It was like just she was wrapped. I'm saying it's a girl. I don't know.
Yeah.
She was sweet. She was a sweet ghost.
She just wanted to see you go to sleep. Maybe your
Hopefully
crying
not
was
permanently.
annoying the fuck out of her. She's like, go the fuck to sleep.
Sleep, Nook, sleep.
Oh god, we keep getting sidetracked. Okay, so that's all for today. Tune in next time. Stay sassy.
And stay strange.